Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Apologies there, few gremlins in the system as there has been all evening it seems. But Manchester United won, Liverpool won, and you know what? I wanted to take a few minutes to sit aside because I think that last goal that gets us a point makes you feel a little bit happier than I don't. No, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I said that a point was a loss before the game, and I'll take it as a loss now because to be still 5 points behind Liverpool is massive. This was the game we needed to win. It wasn't really about winning titles or getting the top four because I think top four still is there, although it's difficult now. It's still there. But this was about finishing well Liverpool, which I predicted we would do. I don't know whether we will do that now because if you can't beat them at home, I can't find any excuses for United today. I'm just watching the goal back there. The goal reminds me, if I'm going to be totally blunt, of a team that's 1-0 down in the Premier League, and it's the wonder of the Premier League. You hit the long ball for the last 10 minutes, a team's trying to protect the 1-0, and you get a goal. It'd be a bit like Liverpool being away to someone like Birmingham if they were still in the league. You're just hitting the long ball to try and do it, and it worked, and Fellaini's good off the long ball, and as is Zlatan. But as a performance, I thought it was shocking. We talked about it at half time. Mourinho never takes Zlatan off. He never takes Pogba off, and he never takes Herrera off. I ain't got a problem with him not taking Zlatan off today or Herrera today, but we played with 10 men at least. In fact, I think we probably played about 8 men today, but with Pogba on the pitch, we played with 10 men. He is not a flop at £89 million. It's not his fault. I don't want to go into that argument, but he was shocking today. An absolute criminal performance by him. And this happens in football. I've said it before. Ronaldo, Messi, the FIFA generation, we think that players that are good play well every week. It doesn't happen like that. Players will have a couple of stinkers a season. It's not acceptable, and it's certainly not good enough against Liverpool for our best player, arguably, to have such a bad performance. What highlights that performance even worse is the fact that he decided to have an emoji on Twitter and then put yellow bits in his hair. If you're going to do that, Paul, at least produce a performance. Because today, I thought it was on par with Joey Barton. In fact, Joey Barton probably had a better game for Burnley yesterday. It was an absolutely poor, beyond poor performance by Paul Pogba. And if you play against 10 men, if you're playing with 10 men against a system like Liverpool's, because Liverpool aren't really, they've got some good players, but they're a very good system brought in by the manager, then you're going to struggle. He missed the one-on-one in the first half at 0-0, which would have totally changed the game. And was it a penalty? I think by the law of the game, it was a penalty. The reason I'm saying it's not a penalty is because it's happened to us twice this season. The most recent one, Crystal Palace, just before Christmas, more blatant handball than that, and it wasn't a penalty. So my assumption is it's not a penalty. That's where it begins and ends. But beyond that, did Liverpool do a hell of a lot? They had a couple of good chances. I think we had the better chances in the game, albeit we played absolutely diabolical. I think Mourinho picked the right team. Do you want to blame the manager? Do you want to blame the players? The manager's not on the pitch. I personally thought the players were abysmal, collectively, individually, and nobody really stood out. Going through the team, De Gea, obviously, you can't really blame him. Darmian, I do blame the manager. I don't really understand what Darmian is, other than a right back, a defensive right back playing at left back. Blind and Shaw are far better, and we need to be able to attack. I don't know why we played Darmian. Liverpool weren't really playing an expansive team. They had no threat down the right, and we played Darmian. Very odd. Rojo and Jones were like the old Rojo and Jones. In fact, if you're being really harsh, the goal for Liverpool came from Phil Jones messing around, and they nearly scored from it. Rojo and Jones were very, very poor today. Valencia would probably be my man of the match. I thought he played very well. Herrera, not very good, but sort of kept going. Carrick, probably the worst game I've seen him play for a long time. Pogba, absolutely abysmal. How he stayed on the pitch is the biggest worry. If you want to win games, you have to take a player off who's playing that badly, and Pogba should have been taken off, but won't be subbed. So we can't complain when we don't win a game because he won't take Pogba off. He never takes Pogba off. The same about Zlatan, but Zlatan's not in that category today. But Pogba, if your centre midfielder is playing as bad as he was today, take him off. I don't care what the press say about him being a flop. United fans don't think he's a flop. He's a good player, but today he was rubbish. Anthony Martial, I thought, played quite well. I don't necessarily agree with that substitution. We took him off for Mata, didn't we? I don't think Mata came on and did a hell of a lot. Mkhitaryan was playing left back for the last half an hour. That's how desperate we were. It was a desperate performance to try and get a point, which we did. I thought Mkhitaryan did okay, but was playing 3 or 4 positions. Zlatan, starved of service. I don't think Zlatan had a very good game, to be honest. He got dominated by Liverpool's defence, which, I know he scored, but there was a lot of ball up to Zlatan. He didn't really hold it up. Rooney, I agreed with that substitution, but Rooney's a spent force. I like Rooney, but he didn't really do a lot. He tried, but he's a spent force. It was just so many players didn't turn up, and 1 or 2 players not turning up is okay. But you could Jones and Rojo didn't turn up. Darmian, whether he ever turns up at left back is arguable. So that's 3 players. Carrick didn't turn up. Herrera was not very good. Pogba didn't even turn up in Manchester. So that's 6 players straight away before you get on to Martial, Zlatan and Mkhitaryan. And if your engine room isn't good, you're going to struggle. Liverpool are a very good system. They pressed the ball. Martial, I didn't think played badly, but every time he got the ball, he had 4 players around him because they knew their right back was their weakness. We didn't switch the play. We talked about it in the preview. We talked about it in the FIFA preview. There was opportunities, and at Pogba so many times, Valencia was free on the right, or Martial was free on the left, and he just didn't switch the ball quickly. And when you're playing a team that's pressing like Liverpool, the first thing you've got to do is pass well, and the second thing you've got to do is pass quickly, so that before they can get to you, you've passed the ball. We were taking 1, 2 touches, dithering on the ball. Our back 2 were doing it, and it was an easy game for Liverpool. I think Liverpool will come out of that result very, very disappointed that they didn't win it, and United probably come out of it. I don't think we were lucky to get a point because we had the chances in the game, but I'm extremely disappointed because a draw was a loss for me. We needed to win that game. It was a massive opportunity that we never grasped because we didn't deal with Liverpool's tactics, which were blatantly obvious, to press the ball. We didn't move the ball, and 6 or 7 United players didn't turn up, and I think that's bloody abysmal at home at Old Trafford against Liverpool. It is what it is. We've had a very good run. I'm not ranting because we've had a very good run. I'm certainly not blaming manager, players or anything like that. I blame the players in the fact that I don't know why they didn't turn up today and so many didn't turn up. Maybe it's just bad luck on our part that so many players didn't turn up, but I suspect there's more to it than that. You don't normally get 6 or 7 players not turning up. Jamshir says Fellaini improved us. He did, but do you want Manchester United to play like that, long ball, to get through a game? We had to do it, I agree, because we weren't going to pass our way through Liverpool. They were well organised, we weren't going to do it. So to mix it up with Fellaini was a good idea, and it saved us a point, but that's not how Manchester United play. That whole performance is not how Manchester United play. We didn't turn up today. We didn't turn up like the Manchester United we know and have been enjoying. The bigger picture, I'm going to talk about it at 8:30 with the guests and all of you lot because I think it's worth talking about. I think the title, I never felt the title was there to be won for us anyway, and I think to win it, we had to win it today. I think 5 points, we're behind Liverpool now. The disappointing thing about the Liverpool thing is we can still finish above Liverpool, but do we deserve to finish above Liverpool? We've just played Liverpool at home and scraped a 1-1 draw. If you want to finish above them, you've got to turn up and beat them, and we didn't do that today. So I'm disappointed about that. Top 4 is going to be very, very difficult, and I still think we can get top 4 because the results we've had over the last few weeks have put us in that position. But Chelsea won yesterday, Arsenal won yesterday, Spurs won yesterday. They're not going to stop winning, and we needed to win today for so many reasons, and we make it a lot harder for ourselves. It's the disappointing thing for United fans is that result will have shocked us all. How so many people, I've been saying for weeks, Carrick, Herrera and Pogba are the best midfield in the league. They've got the balance, the individuality, it works. And today, that is probably, Lynn Hall said it in the live comments on the watch along, that is probably what messed the whole performance today. Because if your midfield 3 are bad, your defence isn't confident, your wingers and your attackers aren't getting the service, that's where it started and ended. And I just think Pogba should have probably been took off at half time, definitely at 60 minutes, and for how he had to play 90 minutes was terrifying. But we got a draw against Liverpool with 10 men today, but we needed to win that game. We needed to win it, and we blew it. We've got to take it on the chin. I'm not ranting. I'm not depressed. I would have been if we'd lost, and I thought we were going to lose. But I'm very disappointed that we missed a massive opportunity. And all as fans, we were like, I can't see us losing this game. I think we'll win it. Anything can happen in football, but I think we'll win it. And unfortunately, what happened, anything did happen. 6 United players, or 7, didn't turn up. And if they don't turn up, you don't win a football match. So in some ways we were lucky to get it. But Omar says Liverpool are a better in sync team, simple as. I disagree, Omar. I think Manchester United have been in sync and played really well. We didn't turn up today. It wasn't about Liverpool's system being any better than ours. You could see it from the first 10 minutes. Why weren't we getting at them? Why weren't we pressing? Why were we letting Liverpool pass the ball around their back four, but they weren't letting us? Why were we not able to string 2 or 3 passes together? Why weren't we switching the ball quick? That's nothing to do with Liverpool's system. That's a failure on the United players individually. I thought the team selection was spot on apart from Darwin at left back, but the midfield just didn't turn up. And Pogba, to be honest, he does need a kick up the backside. You cannot put little colours in your hair, have Twitter emojis and do Adidas dancing and then turn up in front of the worldwide audience today and be worse than Joey Barton. And that is a fact. And I think Pogba will get better. I still think he's improving. I still think he's played very well. But today, he should have been subbed. It wasn't good enough. And you know what? We said it about Rooney for a long time. He needed subbing, he needed dropping, he needed a kick up the backside. Maybe that's what Pogba needs. He's 23, he's still learning. We played with 10 men today. It wasn't good enough. Jay-Z says our midfield didn't stand a chance. I'm not buying into this bollocks. If you want to lick Arsenal, lick Liverpool's and Arsenal's backside, go ahead, enjoy the licking. But Liverpool weren't good today. We were shockingly bad. And on the balance of chances, I'm thinking Pogba one-on-one. I'm thinking Mkhitaryan. The goal, obviously, we probably had better chances than Liverpool, and they still didn't beat us, and we still got a draw. If we turn up today, we would have won the game. We didn't. We've got to take it on the chin. Liverpool fans, if I was you, I would be belittling United fans. I would be celebrating it like you'd won, because getting a draw today I think is a miracle, and that miracle was because United players just didn't turn up for some reason. We should have won that game. I'm very disappointed that we didn't, but I've got no respect or no admiration for Liverpool, because it's hard to judge Liverpool when we didn't turn up. And even though we didn't turn up, we still got a point. I'm very disappointed though. Join us at 8:30. A little bit more time to digest it. A little more time to talk about it. We'll be talking top 4. We'll be talking whether with 2 weeks to go Mourinho needs to dabble in the transfer market. We'll be talking about the title. We'll be talking about the rest of the season, because that result is a big disappointment for United. 5 points off Liverpool. We are now 2 points off 4th. I think we're 3 points off 4th, 2 points off 5th. It's still there, but it's very disappointing, and we should have won that. And you've got to win those sort of games. So there is a reaction to be had. There is some stock to be taken. But ultimately, the players didn't turn up, and that left to desperate things. We were chasing a game 1-0 down with Fellaini and Zlatan up front, hitting long balls with Mkhitaryan at left back, Rooney on the left wing, Mata, and it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And it was, Liverpool quite easily could have hit that mess on the break and got the second goal and won the game. And maybe they feel they should have done that. They didn't. We fought and we got a draw. Some people are saying the goal was offside. Well, it's not a penalty. If you want to say that's offside, it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty against Pogba. He's not looking. It hits his hands, and we've had 2 of those happen to us this season, and we've not been given a penalty. So I could argue with that. Thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, join us at 8:30, little bit more reflection, and we'll be talking heavily about the remaining fixtures, top 4, league title, surely that's gone, what it means for the rest of our season. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all very soon.